Good morning, people of the YouTube. Well, it's cold. That's for damn sure. I haven't done a recipe video in a while, so let's do one. But you gotta have a special voice. Today, on a very special Meat and Motorcycles, we make Peposo Dell'Impruneta. Peposo Dell'Impruneta is a cool dish because it's got a story. It's basically beef stew. But it's much cooler when you have a story to tell your guests. Okay? So, in the 1400s, this guy named Filippo Brunelleschi was building the dome in Florence. And on the outer shell of the dome is terracotta tiles. And in Florence, Italy, if you're in the market for terracotta tiles, you go to a town called Impruneta. That's where they make all the terracotta. They still make it there. And when he was traveling there to get his terracotta tiles, he noticed what these guys would eat for breakfast. Basically, they would have these terracotta bowls or pots, and they would take beef, red wine, garlic, and rosemary, and a lot of black pepper, pretty much to hide the taste of the rotting meat that these guys were getting. And that's it. They put it in the pot, cover it up, and they'd put it in the kiln that they were cooking the tiles in at night after they would turn it off, or not, turn off. And in the morning, the radiant heat left over in the kiln would have cooked and stewed the beef. And that's it. Done. Breakfast. Now, you see a lot of recipes for Peposo with tomatoes and carrots and onions and stuff. But originally it wouldn't have had tomatoes because there were no tomatoes in Italy or in Europe at that time. It was pre-discovery, pre-Columbus. And the carrot, celery, and onion, well, that wasn't in there because this was for really poor people. It's all they could get their hands on was black pepper to cover the meat, which was a necessity, rosemary, which grew wild, garlic, and red wine, which had probably gone bad by the time they were using it for the food. Now, the traditionalists will say, no, you can't put any extra things in it. But we have discovered tomatoes. We have, and I'm not, so dirt poor that I can't afford a carrot. So, Peposo d'Impruneta, the story's over. Here's the recipe. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need about 2 pounds of boneless beef short ribs. Okay? You're gonna need 1 26-ounce can of whole tomatoes. Put them in a bowl, crush them with your hands. You're gonna need 1 onion, 1 big carrot or 2 regular-sized carrots, and about 3 stalks of celery, all of them diced. About 6 cloves of garlic, thinly sliced. About 2 cups of dry red wine. Use Chianti. That's where it's from. Best cooking wine is whatever you're drinking. Use about 2 cups for the dish and use the rest for yourself. You're gonna use extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. You're gonna need about 1 bunch of rosemary tied up with butcher string so you don't have the sticks, swimming around in there. And about 2 tablespoons of ground black pepper. Fresher the better. If you got a pepper grinder, get the twisted. You need about 2 tablespoons. All right? All right. Get yourself like a Dutch oven or a nice pot with a lid. Get it on a medium heat, get it warm. Put your olive oil in there until the olive oil's kind of smoking a little. Salt and pepper your beef and get it in and brown it in the pot on all sides until it's nice and brown. When it's brown on all sides, take it out, let it rest. Throw in your carrots, celery, and onions. Drizzle a little bit more olive oil on them and give them a dash of salt to help sweat out the juice. Using like a flat-edged wooden spoon to help you scrape up all the nice brown bits off the bottom of that pot. Smash that stuff around, and then when it's translucent, push it all to one side. Put your garlic in there. Let that start to toast, and when it gets golden brown, then mix it all back up again, okay? Stir it back in. At that point, put in your red wine, And let that reduce a little bit and kind of soak into the vegetables. And the vegetables get nice and purple. Put in your tomatoes. Now put in your rosemary that you tied with your butcher string. Put your beef in there. Rocks everywhere. Put your beef in. Put it all in there. Bring it to a boil. Once it gets to bubbly, turn it down to a low simmer, the lowest you can get. Cover it and cook it for about 2 hours on the lowest flame you can. You can leave the lid on at a crack. That'll prevent it from burning. But you want to really get in there and stir it every like 5-10 minutes for 2 hours. When that meat is tender enough that you can pull it apart with a fork, you're done. Take the rosemary branches out and kind of break the meat apart. You can kind of scoop it onto whatever you want. I like to eat it over polenta. I could do a polenta video, but there's perfectly good instructions on the package, so I don't think you need to do that. Just boiling water, add polenta, stir, add some salt at the end, polenta. And that was it. Peposo Dell'Impruneta, a taste of history. So you have a meal and some bullshit story to tell your friends at dinner on a freezing ass morning like today. All right, anywhere to park here? Ooh, look at that. There's ice on the ground. No, not gonna work.